Today we will be answering a question that has been left unanswered for far too long. Now you may be wondering, what could that possibly be? Well, in the scene in which Bumblebee lubricates on a man in Transformers 1, we will be checking to see if it is physically possible and accurate physics-wise. First, let's take a look at the scene.
Bumblebee, stop lubricating the man.
Get that thing to stop!
From the scene, we can pull some knowns and unknowns. We know that he's a 2006 Camaro and that he's roughly 4.88 meters tall. We also know that he is lubricating on the man for 136 frames, which we can then calculate into time. Some unknowns are the flow rate, which we need to find, the amount of fluid that he releases on the man, and if it is physically possible for him to do this. We are also assuming that the liquid he's releasing is coolant, since it has a transparent color and it's the only feasible liquid that Bumblebee could have in the car. In the movie, Bumblebee is standing next to a railroad cross sign. We can use that to measure and get an accurate representation of Bumblebee's head height, like in the image shown. Now we can compare images. We know that a circle placed on a fog light will give us a 36 by 36 aspect ratio. Now if we place a similar circle on Bumblebee's exit hole, we get a 20 by 20 ratio. We know that the difference between the fog light ratio and Bumblebee's exit hole ratio is 3.24 to 1. Since it is known that the area of the fog light is 0.11 meters squared, we can use that ratio to find Bumblebee's, which gives us 3.395 times 10 to the negative second meters squared.
How far and how high? John Turturro, who plays Agent Simmons in the movie, is 6 feet and 1.5 inches tall. Megan Fox, who plays Michaela, is 5 foot and 4 inches tall and is walking towards the car in the image below. Agent Simmons was lubricated standing next to the car door that Michaela is walking towards in the image. To find the distance away that Bumblebee was standing, I used the stride length of a 5'4" woman as 1.32 meters and calculated that based on Michaela's first step, the car would be 3 strides away, or 3.96 meters away. On the right, we used Bumblebee's head, which is 0.686 meters, to calculate how high from the ground the hole is. The hole is 5 heads above the ground, so 3.43 meters above the ground. What's the velocity? It took 18 frames for the when the fluid started coming out to when it hit Agent Simmons in the head. Movies are recorded at 24 FPS, so I used that and I calculated a time of 0.75 seconds, which is used alongside the heights and distances we calculated on the previous slide to find the velocity, which is 7.84 meters per second. To calculate our flow rate, we use the formula Q equals AV, and taking the whole area of the hole, which is 0.034 meters squared, multiplied by the velocity we calculated on the previous slide, we have a flow rate of 0.265 meters cubed per second. To find out how much coolant is released by Bumblebee, we multiply it by the length of time the fluid was flowing, which was 5.67 seconds, and we have approximate volume of 1.51 meters cubed. Because we know that the Bumblebee is a Camaro 2007, we found that that car needs approximately 3 gallons of coolant, or 0.0114 meters cubed.
We now know that Bumblebee released more coolant than that would be needed for a Camaro to function properly, which means that in mere minutes, the engine should have overheated and Bumblebee should have not been able to move. However, in the movie, Bumblebee was able to function for the rest of the movie. Therefore, we know the physics are not accurate.